This is Carl from National RV Detroit, and I'm going to walk you through your 2019 Flagstaff Superlight fifth wheel model 529BH. Okay, I'm on the door side of the trailer here, moving towards the rear. Alrighty, so obviously you have a rack in the back that folds down. This is just a port for a sprayer, hot and cold water. You get a coiled sprayer with a quick connect that goes with it. Alright, you have a pull-out grill. Alrighty, let me see what we got here. And this has to be plugged in. So let me see, I'm having a hard time as usual seeing the monitor in this light. So there's the male end of it. That will connect to your quick connect right here. It's right under the trailer. Let me back up so you can see where I'm at. Alright, so you just have to remember you have to connect that. Now this also has a grill that you hang right on this rail right here. Okay, and it has another quick connect right here below it. Whoop, right there. Hopefully you can see that. Here, let me turn the monitor a bit. Maybe I can get a better view on it. No, no such luck. Okay, anyway, so you have to plug your grill in first, or also. So keep that in mind. Your low pressure LP appliances have to be plugged into the system. And then of course the propane is drawn from the 230-pound tanks up at the front. You have a refrigerator. It works on 110 AC. As soon as you plug in the trailer, it turns on. This is your water heater on the outside. Alrighty, so this works on both gas and electric. Keep in mind that there's a switch here. This switch right here. Here, let me get the tape off. But he didn't get it all the way off. Right there. And this switch right here, it's a rocker switch. It's off now, but it controls the electric heating element that's behind this cover here. Just so you know. You can also operate this on gas. Switches are inside the trailer, but keep in mind there is a switch for the electric right here. Also, this is where you drain it, the water heater. It takes an 1/16" socket. 6-point preferably, so you don't strip it. And let me pull that off of there. Hold on. There we go. And so keep in mind that that's where you would drain it at. Now you always want to make sure there's water in the water heater tank before you turn it on. It's very important. You've got ground control 3.0 leveling system, which is up front. I'll show you that. Also, you got a TV mounting bracket. You've got antenna out and power here to hang a TV set. This is your range hood vent here. So if you turn on the fan on your range hood, it vents right out here. You can push up on the tabs there at the bottom, hopefully you can see that, and make the baffle inside flap freely. You want it to flap freely when you're venting, otherwise you want to keep it shut. Outside speakers, a huge power awning with LED strip. Your steps flip into the trailer. Keep in mind if you're on uneven terrain, you can actually pull this pin out right here. There's one on each side, and you can adjust the length of the legs for the terrain. Alright, so this is the sprayer I told you about right here. It's got a quick connect. It's got a male end for a quick connect. This is your grill and the rail, or the rack it hangs on it. This hangs right on the rail that I showed you out there. This is the quick connect hose for it. Hopefully you can see that alright. Let me move it around a bit. So that's the quick connect hose for this grill. You have two cranks. That you have a 3/4 inch crank and another type that has a cylinder with a slot cut in it. Let me look and see if we can. I can see exactly where you would use those. Okay. Yeah, so the one looks like it will work for your to lower your spare tire, which is underneath. The other one may work on the landing gear. We'll have to take a look when we get on the other side and see. All right, okay. Anyways, you got a 30-pound tank on each side, so there's two of them. The regulator is an automatic changeover regulator, so you don't choose your tanks. It draws the door side down, then it'll switch to the off door side. Okay, in your front compartment you have your battery, obviously, and some extra storage. This little connector here is in case you wanted to add a solar battery charger here. You've got docking lights here. Your other 30-pound tank is in there. Okay, so this is your water system here. Let me back up so you can see the whole thing. So you can hook your sprayer right into here, your hose. Your city water connection is right here. So basically you're going to hook your hose right into there and you're all set, ready to go. You can operate your electric pump from out here if you need to. There's also a switch inside. But if you, let's do this. If you look at these diagrams, you can adjust these levers here, these valve levers, to different positions to make it do what you want. So if you're going to run city water, for example, you can see this diagram right here. Let me see if I can't quite see the darn. There it is. That's better. So right here. So you can see the white is right, the blue is not yet. So then we're going to go like this, and both of these up. So that would be for city water. So if you hook your hose right onto here, and you turn on the water, it's gonna send water to the whole trailer. Everything will work. Now, if you want to fill your tank for your onboard water tank, for example, you would change these to this position and this position. You see, and then when this port will, when you turn on the water, it'll actually fill your onboard water tank, right? And then when you want to pump from the water tank, you would select this position here, for example, right? So you can pretty much make sense of it. You can winterize it from here. You can run sanitizing liquid through it. Pretty much everything you need to do can be done just by adjusting these valves correctly. So I'm going to put it back in city water position, just so it's there. All right. So that's pretty simple. Now you have 2 gray tanks. Let me see. Let me make sure here. Let me walk to the back so I can see what we got here. All right, so you have 2 gray tanks and a black tank. The second gray tank they refer to as a galley tank, but it's still a gray tank. So your bathroom tanks are right here. This is your black and this is your gray. All right, so you're going to hook your hose here. Obviously it goes in the dump station. Then you're going to dump your black tank first. So you'll pull it right there and dump your black tank. Your black tank is toilet water and waste. Then you'll dump the gray one second, which is sink and shower water. It's just cleaner water than the black, so you dump it second, right? Then if you leave the black valve open, you can come up here and you can hook your hose right to here. And this is your black tank flush. So as long as you leave the valve open, you can turn on your water and it'll spray the inside of your black tank and clean it out really well, clean the sensors off really well. So that's a good thing. All right, so let's come down this way a ways. This is the second gray tank. They call it a galley tank. It's for your sink, your kitchen sink. And of course you'd have to hook up separately to dump that one, but that's another gray tank. Your fresh water drain is right there. Hopefully you can see that. Right there. You got a 50 amp cord. It's 30 feet long, and you get the reducers for it to reduce it down. The reason it says a 50 amp system is it's pre-wired for a second air conditioner if you wanted to add one. Okay, so you've got a ladder, which is good because all trailers, the roof has to be inspected 3 times a season. So figure in the spring and in the fall and once in the middle of the summer, you're going to go up on the roof and you're going to walk around and check all the sealant on the roof. And you're looking for separation, for cracking, that sort of thing. Some years, sometime you're going to find something that needs to be touched up and you'll have it done. But you got to inspect just so you know the condition of your roof. It's very important. Also, this device here, this housing it shows us that this is pre-wired for a backup camera. So if you wanted to get a backup camera, this takes a Furion camera and it has to be the one that fits in that housing. So keep that in mind. Let me just look in here for the heck of it. Just more. Every place they can put storage, they do. Okay, so let's go inside the trailer. Alrighty. So this is your control panel here. Let me get up here. Hopefully we can get the whole thing in there. Yes, we can. So you check your levels here. Your battery is charged. Always check it when you're not plugged in. fresh water is empty, black water is empty. Your gray tank is empty, number 1, which is the sink and shower water, and grade 2, which is the galley tank, your kitchen sink. They're all empty. As they fill, lights will light up and graduate up in 1/3 increments. So when you get past 2/3, you got to start thinking about dumping your black and gray tanks. Also, I told you that you could operate the pump from outside in the water closet area, or you can operate it from here. So if you're carrying onboard water, you can start the pump right there. You also use the pump when you're drawing antifreeze into the system to winterize it. Always remember you have to bypass the water heater tank before you pump antifreeze into the system. So if you don't know about that, you have to educate yourself or get it done, okay, by someone else. Anyways, so to light your heater on gas is right here. Electric is right here. Remember I told you there's another switch outside, so be aware that there's 2 electric switches on this one. And always make sure, like I said, that there's water in the tank before you start it. And these are tank heaters. There's heating pads on all your holding tanks, and basically it'll extend your camping season. You can go out earlier in the spring and stay out later in the fall. It just can keep your tanks from freezing as quickly as they would without heat, okay? You got all your lights here and your Wi-Fi Ranger. Your slide outs here. This is, I'll just show you real quickly. This one right here. It's the over the floor type slide out, so it comes up over the floor. And you can send it out. When you hear the ratcheting sound coming up, that's when you know you're all the way in or all the way out. You just take your finger off the button. Alright, this Wi-Fi Ranger is a signal booster for public Wi-Fi. It does 2 things, but that's the main function. So you would basically, this top line here, if you can see it, it says Sky 4 7369. You look at your Wi-Fi on your phone and tablet, and you'll find it on there listed, and that is your Wi-Fi Ranger. So you'd put a password in, so all your devices hook up automatically to the Wi-Fi Ranger. Then you would type this IP address into a browser, and it'll take it to the web page for your Wi-Fi Ranger. And there's the temporary password right there. It changed me now, 7369. So once you do that, you can see everything the Wi-Fi Ranger sees. The Wi-Fi Ranger is on the roof. It has antenna, a small antenna, and it can really boost your Wi-Fi really well. It's for boosting a public free Wi-Fi. So it's a good thing. So basically, your devices will attach automatically to your Wi-Fi Ranger, but then you would go to this IP address, and you will connect your Wi-Fi Ranger to the campground Wi-Fi or whatever you're connecting to. All right. There's also a second function, because this is a Sky 4. It's something you'd have to go through your whoever provides your phone service, and it would be like getting another SIM card. You'd have to pay a monthly fee. You just have cellular connectivity also. Most people don't do that unless they're working from their trailer. They find that the free public Wi-Fi is good enough if it's boosted. Okay, all right. So, like with this, some people understood what I was saying right off the bat. Some people would have to look into it more. But there's some more literature in your packet. Plus, you can go to Wi-Fi Ranger's website, and they've got all kinds of information. All right. All right. So your push your mode, basically cool. Auto, you always want to try to stay to auto with the air conditioning. You can go to the fan, which is the air conditioner running without the compressor, and then of course heat, and then to off. This is zone 1. If you were to add a second air conditioner, that would be zone 2 up front. Okay. All right. So you have a fireplace. Now the fireplace, you can change the appearance of the flame. You can set the fan speed. It's a really good space heater, and you can set temperature, and it's got a timer on it, that sort of thing. So you can use that when you don't want to use up your LP. Like if you're at night just all sitting around, you can use it as a space heater early in the morning, and you'll be actually just using campground electricity instead of using up your propane. So it's a good thing in that sense. Also, your sound, this plays discs, obviously, DVDs and CDs. It's got 3 zones. Zone 1 is this room. Zone 2 is the bedroom. Zone 3 is outside. You can set, for Zone 3, you can set the source and volume separately from inside the trailer, so you could be watching a disc inside and listen to the radio outside, for example. Also, you can stream off of this USB. You can hook up with Bluetooth and stream wirelessly, so there's a lot you can do with it. Considering you're camping, of course, you recognize that's a TV set. All right, so we still have to clean in here, obviously. To light your range, I don't know if he's got the tanks are still on. I think he shut them off. Yeah, so they're off, but you just spark it basically to light it. To light the pilot light, which is down here, you're going to put your awning knob to pilot, right? And then you're going to depress it. Then you're going to spark it right here until the pilot light down there lights. When you see that it lit, you're still holding this in. After it lights, you hold it for another 10 seconds or so, and then you're just going to go to whatever operating temperature you want. But when you shut it off, the pilot light will go off, and you'll have to relight it each time you use it. All right, microwave works like any other microwave. We've talked about this already. If you're going to vent to the outside, you want to open that baffle on the outside. Okay, so this is a gas absorption refrigerator. Basically, it runs on 110 AC or LP gas. You're almost always going to use auto. Auto means electricity. The reason you call it auto is because it automatically searches out electricity, and if it finds it, it uses it. If it can't find it, it would automatically switch over to gas. Right? Or if you're using electricity and you're off exploring someplace during the day and you have a power outage, it'll automatically switch over to gas for you, so you don't spoil your food. Okay, you can set it to gas just by doing that, but generally you're just going to have it on auto. The only other thing to know about this particular refrigerator, let me turn it on here, is that you set the temperature with this thing here called a thermistor. You can see there's a cable and there's a little cylinder on the end of the cable that goes up into that clip. The clip just holds it on the fin. You just basically you slide it up. The higher you go with it, the cooler the refrigerator is inside. So that's how you set the temperature. Okay, so you have antenna out and power and a place to hang a TV backer in the bedroom here in the bunk room. Nice big bunk room too. It's nice. You can collapse your table down just by pushing this to the right, this yellow tab to the right. And you can collapse it at the hinges. You always want to keep the table down when you're traveling so it doesn't bounce around and break something, but it also turns into a bed, obviously. And so does this couch here. The couch, you can pull these cushions right loose here. It's held on by Velcro. Then you would grab it right here and you fold it out, and then fold the back section down, and you've got a 3-panel hide-a-bed, which is actually all foam cushions. It's pretty comfortable as hide-a-beds go. Alright, and of course this device here is the power converter. It converts 110 AC to 12 volt DC. So you can see you got regular 110 household style circuit breakers here, just like you would have at home, and they're all labeled. Right, then the power is converted over to 12 volt DC here, and you've got 12 volt fuses here, and they're all labeled. So this converts your AC power to DC power. If any of these fuses blow, they'll actually light up and you can see them through this tinted plastic here. So you'll know that that one blew. Also, when you're plugged in, this will always it'll always charge your battery up front. So it'll keep your battery charged as long as you're plugged into shore power. Alrighty. Let me put the slide room out, this slide room out so we can see. So that's a wardrobe slide. It's actually a wardrobe that's sliding out. Okay. So the fan, you pull down on this knob to unlock it. So keep that in mind. It's got a kill switch in it, so you have to open it up, open the vent cover up in order to allow it to get power to turn on. You obviously operate here. Let me just do that. It's got a cover over it so you can open it during the rain and everything. Let's see, you can turn it on right there. It has 4 speeds, and the first 2 are very quiet, which is what you'll normally use. When you're using the shower, you always want to use this to vent the humidity out because these things are built super tight. So you always want to vent the humidity out so it doesn't create a climate where you can get mold or mildew. The other thing to know about the shower is this thing here is called a water miser. It's basically just a recirculator. So if you're recirculating in this position, you're waiting for the water to heat up, and you're waiting to push the cold water out of the line. So basically the reason you would want to do that, first of all, if there's drought conditions, you don't waste water. Also, you don't, when you're just running water, it'll fill your gray tank up, you know, so you're not needlessly dumping water into your gray tank. You're just recirculating it until it gets hot. This will change color. It'll get a more bluish color, and that's when you know it's heated up, and you put it to this position, and it'll work like a regular shower. But when it's in another position, it just recirculates the water round and around again while it heats up. So it's a good thing. You can also go to their website and look at their videos. That's it. They got some good videos. Also, there's 2 GFCIs in this trailer. One in the front, one in the back. This is the one back here, obviously. All the plugs in the trailer are wired to a GFCI, so if one ever pops, you're going to find out which one it was and just reset it here. Alright, the other thing to know is the toilet, like all RV toilets, you can't use it dry or without chemical in it. So you got a flush pedal here, right? So first thing you do, you pull in the campsite, you hook up your water and power, then you'll come in here, you'll dump your chemical right here, whichever brand you use, and you'll just dump it right in there, then you'll flush it, water will come swirling out, of course, and you're going to stand on this pedal and put about a gallon of water into the tank. There's no way to tell exactly what that is, but you put a gallon of water in there and chemical before you use it, so keep that in mind. You can't start off with a dry black tank. You got to have chemical and about a gallon or 2 of water, alright? Alright, so the bed, there's storage. Obviously you have a charging port here with a cigarette lighter type charger, and then 2 USBs. This is pre-wired for a second air conditioner. That's what the sticker is telling us. You would remove this vent and put another air conditioner. It would pop right in there and you'll be all set. There's also tells us that there's a sensor pre-wired set. Behind this spot are wires that are pre-wired for the sensor to turn this into zone 2. So it would be able to sense what's happening up here with the temperature. So if you add the air conditioner, you also add a sensor here, and then it will activate zone 2 on your thermostat. Really just zone 1 works right now, but it is pre-wired to have 2 zones. Also, you've got a TV there, obviously, and then you can see up there you've got power and signal. You always want the signal booster for the digital antenna to be on, so keep that in mind. Let me walk around there to see what we've got so we know. Okay, let me look back over here so I can give you the correct information. Okay, so I'll pull this one forward here. So this one, you can see right there. You see how that's green? Hopefully I'm trying to get a picture of it right there. On and off. You always want them on because that's the booster for your digital antenna. And so you always want it on like that. Okay, so I think I've covered everything. If you have more questions, you can always talk to us and we'll talk you through anything. We'll do whatever we can do to help you out. Just keep in mind that you always want to bypass your water heater before you pump antifreeze into it. And you always want to inspect your roof at least 3 times a season. That's important also. So thank you very much for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit, and goodbye.